Hey everybody, welcome to Becoming Professionally Famous Online Live. Golly, we are a long way away. Let us make that a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Oh my gosh, the framing. It is lucky that you guys don't expect me to be perfect, right? So today on our show, first of all, I guess I wanted to really thank you for your patience and understanding with not having done this over the last couple of weeks. My OCD is kicking in. I've had some stuff that I've been working through and dealing with on a range of different levels, and it's just been really next to impossible actually for me to be able to do these with you live. So I'm really happy to be back and really thrilled to be sharing what I think is a really important concept with you. Hey Kelly, really important concept, which is all around content planning. So probably I reckon 95% of the people that I talk to have a bit of a conniption or a blockage, if you like, around what to do in terms of content. So we're talking blogs, we're talking social media posts, we're talking videos, Facebook Lives, photos, Instagram stuff, you know, and I guess if we think about it, there are 1,000,001 platforms. There are 1,000,001 people that we're trying to talk to and engage and entertain and start building relationships with online. And honestly, it can all become quite overwhelming. That's what people tell me. So I want to make this as super simple as humanly possible for you, so that you can get out there and start creating this content, and most importantly, having a really solid plan that you can work to. So on the days where you're like, oh my God, what the heck am I going to talk about today? Or what the heck am I going to blog about this week? Or what am I going to do my Facebook Live on? You've already got a framework that you can draw upon so that you don't have to sit there procrastinating, putting it off and things like that. So if you've got any questions as we go through, please make sure you let me know. Now, I remember back in 2011, actually, when I first started doing video blogging, not well, that it was horrific. Not that they're, you know, beautifully polished and in studio and everything these days, but my video blogs back then were really terrible. I thought that in order to be taken seriously, I needed to be super serious. I didn't have the confidence, really, if we're completely honest. I didn't have the confidence to turn up and show up on video or on social media, actually, completely as me. I was worried about being judged. I was worried that people wouldn't take me seriously. I was worried that people wouldn't think that I was professional and all the rest. And then these days it's a lot more like, well, you know what, it's fine. And that really kind of, if you don't have that level of confidence now, trust that it will come the more you practice, the more you do, the more you play, the more you implement, and the more frequently you start to put your content out there, put your stuff out there. So if you're anything like me, I kind of dance between two ways of thinking. One side of me is super creative. I love having all of these different like ideas and, you know, things to talk about and all of that, and that's really awesome. But then the other side of me really heavily relies on structure, on a framework, and on a plan. So what I found is that when I've got this plan and structure, it really enables the creative part of me to be able to get out and do more of what it is that I want to do, and, you know, share what I want to share in the way that I want to share it. So if you're anything like me and you're like, oh, I've got all these great ideas, that's awesome, we're going to build it into a framework so that on those days, and we all have them, you know, I have them as well, where you may not be feeling necessarily super inspired or super motivated or excited, you can rely on the structure and the framework. Oh, thanks for the love, Kel. They were fabulous back then. Well, they were something, they served their purpose, right? And I think it's really great. I keep them up there so that you guys can really see the evolution. You know, I'm all about, don't wait till it's perfect. Just get yourself out there. Start doing it. Just start. And you don't have to have a beautiful studio or have everything perfect or have a beautiful set or have incredible equipment. You can start with exactly what it is that you've got. So this content plan that I want to step you through, the way I really encourage you to do this. First of all, so we're going to step through the steps that you need to take before you get your content plan sorted, all right? The first thing that we've got to do, and I think this is probably the thing that most people that I speak to, most people that I work with, this is one of their biggest struggles. It's really identifying what it is that makes them different. Because some of you are new to industry, some of you have been in corporate for a long time and just now you're an entrepreneur, started being an entrepreneur. Maybe you have gone like the other way around. Or maybe you've just been made redundant and this whole thing is brand new. This whole social media positioning thing might be brand new. Good morning, Helen. Long time no see. So the first part that most people struggle with is, well, you know, what makes me different and why would people listen to me? And, you know, there's 1,000,000,001 health coaches out there. There's 1,000,000,001 life coaches, energy healers, corporate people, hey Joe, piano teachers, tutors, coaches, business coaches, consultants, you know, authors, whatever. Yes, there are. There are a ton of other people in your industry, but there is only one of you. So the first, I know that's like Captain Obvious, right? But the first thing that I really want you to do is take some time to actually sit down and map out what is it that actually makes me different really. And the first place to start is to have a look at the timeline, perhaps from when you're a teenager, maybe 16, 17 years old, whenever it was that you entered the workforce perhaps, or first started a business or the hobby or whatever it is. What have you done in each 5-year block? So I generally look at, 15 to 20. I got my first job in retail. I started making sales. I went and managed a store for my parents, and then I went into the bank. All right, so that's my 15 to 20 year block. And then what did I do between 20 and 25, and then 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, so on and so forth. Hey Jason, nice to see you. Happy Tuesday. All is well. Thank you for asking. So what this helps to show you is actually the evidence, first of all, of your kind of like your career, your work experience. There'll be some life stuff spattered through there. And that is going to be different to what the next person in your industry is going to look like, what theirs is going to look like. So that helps you from that perspective. The other thing that I would take a look at is ask for some help out there. Go and talk to your friends, your colleagues, your boss, your previous boss, if you're still on good terms, and ask them what they think your strengths are. Ask them what it is about you, what makes you unique. Because it's always really interesting, I think, to hear someone who sees you in a different light, to get their opinion, and it's got to be, frame it has to be positive, please. Only positive things, not, oh, you're super argumentative. That's unhelpful. You're a really good debater, might be excellent, but you want to just frame it in a way to make sure that the feedback that they're giving you is positive, not, we don't want what your weaknesses are, right? We want what your positive stuff is. So ask them that, and then you'll get a little bit of an idea about your experience and the way that other people see you. Okay, so it's about providing you with some external validation, almost some external evidence to help bolster you to start getting yourself out there. So what you might find, if some of the strengths that people come back with, or the unique parts, you might have 1,000,000 words to say a day. You might be really great at making something that's really complex really simple. Maybe you're brilliant at drawing pictures on a whiteboard or on flip chart in order to demonstrate a concept. Maybe you're amazing at writing. Maybe you're brilliant at doing proposals. Maybe you're awesome at sales. What is it that is your natural strength there. And then what that will help you to determine is the vehicle that you'll start to use when you're putting your content out there, right? When you're delivering your message. Not everyone is going to want to do a Facebook Live on a daily basis, and no one expects you to. Not everyone is going to want you to or expect you to write 500 words or 1,000-word blog every day. You know, not that we want or need you to, all right? It's just about you kind of going, okay, well, these are my natural strengths. How can I leverage those in order to deliver the content out to your audience, right? We want to tap into your natural abilities, first of all. Then we start to look at, okay, great. We know what your strengths and talents are. We know some of the best ways for you to be able to deliver this content. Okay, great. What the heck are we going to say? So the first thing that most people do is, oh, well, I can talk about this, and I can talk about this, and I can talk about this, and I can talk about this. Well, let's just hold up and rewind for a moment. Hey, Kelly, good morning. Nice to see you. So when it comes time for you to start developing your content, the first thing, before we knee-jerk and go, oh, I'm going to talk about this, 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 and this, is we need to get really very, very clear on who the audience is that you're talking to. Now, not just corporate, it's not just entrepreneurs, it's not just small business owners, it's not just doctors, it's not just dentists, it's not just people who have suffered trauma that need help. I want you to come back and really think about the exact specific person that if you're talking to someone, who could you imagine as an ideal prospect, so someone who hasn't bought from you yet, who can you imagine talking to? And I really want you to get inside their head, step into their shoes. What does their day look like? What do they do when they wake up in the morning? Are they instantly picking up their phone and checking it? Are they getting up and running straight for the coffee machine? Are they taking medication? Are they getting up and having a shower? Are they hitting the snooze button 25 times because they're so freaking exhausted? Then what do they do next? And then what do they do next? And then what do they do next? So I want you to have a really great framework and structure an idea around what this person's story is. Because what you're going to start being able to pull out of there is, what are their problems? What are their challenges? What are their stress points? Are they worried about lack of exercise? Are they worried about lack of nutrition? Are they worried about lack of motivation? Are they worried about their kids being bullied? You know, what is it that they are experiencing? Because when you know them better than almost they know themselves, that's going to give you all of the ideas for the content that you need. And it's not just in relation to the product that you're selling, right? So let's take a book editor as an example. So I'm writing a book at the moment. It's nearly ready to go. I'm so thrilled. Thanks to the gorgeous Kelly Irving who's joined us today, actually. One of the things from a book editing perspective is, you know, the things that worry me is, well, what if no one likes my book? What if no one buys it? What if I spend this 6 months working through the process and invest 10, 15 grand for the privilege of doing it all? You know, what if it falls flat on its face? Is it going to look like another fluffy, stupid book? Here's all my fears coming out. You know, what does the editing process even look like? How long does it go for? What if my husband looks at it or reads it and thinks that it's just a piece of, you know, pile of crap? What if I go and buy all of these and they go sit in storage and I can't move any, I can't sell any? So where I'm going with all of that is, like, I've got all of that stuff, right? All of that stuff is going on. Now, I can guarantee you that some of those questions and problems and stress points have kept me up in the middle of the night. Actually, no, that's not strictly true. I've fallen asleep and then woken up at like 3 a.m. worrying about that whole process. On the other hand, so like we've got the stress points, we've got the challenges, we've got the concerns. On the other hand, I'm also terribly excited. I saw my worksheets yesterday for the first time that have been designed. I'm just like, oh my God, these are amazing. So I'm super excited to also get it in the hands of the public and start educating and using this as a really great tool. So I've got all of that stuff. But consequently, in all of this, I'm looking, well, do I need to sacrifice time that I might be spending on exercising in order to go and make all of this stuff happen? So where I'm going with all of that is, if you take a book editor as an example, as like a service delivery example, and if I'm your ideal client, then I want to start to see and read and interact with some content from you that talks into my goals and my dreams and my desires, that talks into my stress points, my worries, my concerns, my self-doubt, how to overcome them. So what you can do is, once you know who your person is and you've written their story, you're now going to sit down and list all of the problems that they have, all of their goals, dreams, and desires. You're going to look at some different categories like fun, social, family, relationships, finance, business, what else have we got? Mindset. You know, there's 7 categories without thinking too hard that you can start to build out a bit of a framework and go, well, these are the problems around this person having fun. These are the problems that this person has around relationships. These are the problems that this person has around blah, blah, blah. When you start creating content that talks into those problems and those goals, what starts to happen is you start to enter the conversation that people are having in their head. They feel heard, they feel validated, they feel understood. And that is the fastest way for you to create rapport, right? So the thing that is missing on social media is that people are just piling on stuff that doesn't help people, that doesn't solve problems, that doesn't really talk into the things that that person is feeling. They're kind of just doing like knee-jerk stuff, where you've really got to know who your person is and then start building out your content. Now, I recommend to all of my clients, every single one of them, to get a list of about 54 problems / goals, dreams, desires, right? 54 things, individual things that your person, your ideal prospect is experiencing. Now, if you've got 54 problems / goals, dreams, desires, then there are 52 weeks in the year, right? You've got one focus point for every single week of the year. And then let's say that we use mindset as one of the problems. So experiences self-doubt. Let's be a bit more specific. So let's say that one of the problems that your ideal people have is mindset, managing their mindset around whatever your service is providing. So with your mindset thing, you can talk on a Facebook Live about mindset once a week. You can do a blog that's about mindset. You could probably, I think, without thinking too hard, you could probably give them 5 things that they could do, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Once a day, you post up just one thing that they can do to shift the needle on their mindset. So focus on your goals. Find some people to follow that inspire and motivate you. Go and unsubscribe from all the shit that makes you feel bad about yourself. Go and spend some time in nature. And when was the last time you did a vision board? You know, there's 5 posts that you could do right there. There's probably a Facebook Live that you could do on each of those as well, right? Oh, my battery's running low. So that gives you the focus point for your week, for your blog, for a Facebook Live, for a podcast. You could repurpose that on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You can build memes around that. It makes your life so much easier. Now, I know that might sound like a lot, right? But if you spend some time, and it will probably, I usually advise my people to take a good half a day, get a big piece of sticky flip chart, get a whole bunch of post-it notes, and just start writing out all of the things that your people are experiencing. And then you might do something like this, where you've got, for whatever week it is that we're looking at, so the week commencing, I don't even know what the date is, so it's the 7th, I think yesterday was the 17th of September. So the 17th of September, the focus point what I'm looking at is content creation. So yesterday was all around motivation, get going, focus on what it is that you need to achieve this week. Today is all around building out content. The social media posts, if I hadn't already gone and spent a bunch of time scheduling them, I would make them around content creation. I trust that this makes sense. It means that you're creating consistency across the board. It means that your audience is able to follow and see, no matter where they find you, that you are consistent, that you know your stuff, that most importantly, that you get them, right? Because that's the thing that is going to make you stand out. So that's that. So to summarize what we've talked about, the first thing that you need to do is to sit down and work out, right, well, in order to have that confidence to get out there, is going, okay, well, what is it that actually makes me different? What's my experience? What's happened over my life timeline from, the age of 15 through to however old you are now? And then going, okay, great. Go and ask some people what they perceive your strengths to be, so that we're not just making it up. Then you can decide on what is the best way for you to deliver this content, whether it's video, podcast, hiding behind a camera, standing in front of the camera, writing, whatever it is. Leverage that first and foremost. Then you need to know your niche, your ideal person, your ideal client, your ideal prospect that you want to talk to, right? And start building conversation with. You then need to give them a whole timeline, essentially, of what they do on a daily basis. What problems do they experience? What are their goals, dreams, desires? Sit down and start writing out all of the problems that they have, all of their goals, dreams, desires that they have, their stress points, their worries. And then it's time to then go, all right, what am I going to focus on each week? And then you'll go and apply it, right? So all of this planning is great, but if you don't actually get out there and start putting it out there, then people aren't going to know that you're there, right? So you've got to make sure that you do that. Hey, Marciel, good morning. Nice to see you. Hey, Jess. Hey, Jess. Nice to see you. Happy Tuesday. So that is, to me, the simplest way that you can build out your 12-month content plan that ensures that you have got overall consistency of message. You're going to be seen as the expert at what you do because you're nice and consistent no matter where they find you. You're always out there solving problems. So, people see you as someone who really knows their stuff. Yeah. And then it's just about just getting out there and doing it. Let me scratch that. Don't say try, Nicola. Just do it, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the right things. Your people, here's the thing. Let me share a little secret with you that's not really a secret, but the biggest thing that I can share with you about social media is that there are so many people with the perfectly curated photos, the most beautiful videos, the most beautiful studio and sets, and for some people that is great depending on what their thing is. But the one thing that I can tell you that has made such a massive difference for me and my business, and for other clients who have worked with me who have since shared it back, it's that there is so much fakeness. I can't think of the word. There is so much fake out there. There are so many people wearing a veneer. There are so many people out there who are talking the talk and not walking their talk, that if you are prepared, and you've really got to be actually, if you are prepared to just start to screw up, to lose your words on camera, to just, and then get flustered. People want real. They are hungry for real. They are hungry to know that you are human, because there are too many filters. There is too much, in my opinion, there are too many people out there trying to paint this image of everything is perfect, and it's not. I shared with you guys last week, just as an aside, I I go through stages of having pretty severe anxiety, which I have probably not really shared with very many people before. And last week, it was really quite debilitating. It's why I didn't do many lives. I was kind of absent from a whole bunch of social media stuff because I was just dealing with my stuff. I shared a little bit here and there, I think on Friday in a live, because I was feeling, you know, kind of on the other side of it a little bit. But and you don't have to share all the intimate details about your life, about your mindset, about your screw-ups, about all of this stuff. But the more we can paint the picture for people that everything is not fucking perfect, the more your people are going to come out of the woodwork and resonate with you. They are not looking for perfection. They don't need you to have all of the answers. They just need you to be real. Yeah. Getting off my soapbox on that. Thank you for letting me rant. So just get started. Don't wait for the right time. You don't need to wait for the right message or the right niche. Just freaking start. I promise you it will pay off. All right, guys, I am going to love you and leave you. I hope you have a really amazing and beautiful Tuesday or Monday night if you're overseas in the States or the UK or wherever it is that you happen to be from around the world. Thank you for taking the time to join me. I am completely committed to being on here as often as I can be. If you've got any questions about anything, please reach out and let me know. If you want some help with this stuff and you haven't already registered for Spy School, then maybe it's time to do that. Get your plan in place. Get all of this ready. Super excited to help you. Kelly, thanks for the example. It's exactly what I needed. Oh, great. Yes, your people are me. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. You have a great day as well. Have a great day, everybody. I look forward to chatting with you tomorrow. Tomorrow is Q&A Wednesday. If you've got any questions about social media, business, digital marketing, anything like that, let me know. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. Go kick some major ass, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.